Canelo Alvarez is one of the only fighters left on Terence Crawford's hit list, and it looks as though Canelo has sent Terence a fight offer at 160. Even though there is a crazy weight difference between Terence and Canelo, quite a few fighters believe that Terence has a good shot against Canelo if they were to meet in the ring. Tim Bradley stated, "It's a tough task for Terence, but at the same time, I would back him. I would pick Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. I think that his skill level is up there with the greatest. I don't think we've seen anything like Terence Crawford. I do study history. I've never seen anybody that has everything. Good speed, power, timing, can switch the way he switches. That is the toughest, the meanest that he has. The way he finishes guys, the way he breaks down guys. He's one of the smartest guys that I've ever seen in the ring, right up there with Floyd Mayweather." Teddy Atlas really doesn't think that anyone should be counting Terence Crawford out if a fight does happen, and he stated, "Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring and to see things nobody else can see, and that's what makes his timing so special. Because of that, I cannot count him out of anything." One of the first people who thought that Terence would be able to handle Canelo was definitely Shakur Stevenson, though.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
Eddie Hearn doesn't really think that Terence could handle Canelo, though, and he really doesn't think that he would actually consider coming up in weight. Eddie stated, "I hope that we get the opportunity to work with him again. On a personal level, I class him as a friend. Classy guy. We talk socially every now and again, but he made the best move for his career. And as friendly as we are, it doesn't really work like that. I hope he beats Charlo if you're going to ask me about the Terence Crawford question. You're talking about two of my favorite fighters, two modern-day greats. I do think Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, as good as Terence Crawford is. In my opinion, you'll never see Canelo come under 168 in a fight. I don't think he wants to do that. 168 is still a little bit, not tough, but it's enough. So I don't think you see Crawford come up to 168, and I think if he does, I don't think he beats Canelo. So I'm not sure whether that fight happens, but if it does, two great fighters, and I'll favor Alvarez." Dimitri Bivol doesn't think that the idea of Terence moving up in weight classes is all that crazy of an idea, and he believes that Terence could do it if that's what he really wants to do. Bivol stated, "When I stepped into a boxing gym, the first rule was to respect weight classes, but I don't know what Crawford is going to eat. He's the best fighter. Everything that he's planning shouldn't look like it's crazy. If he's thinking about it, if he's talking about it, it means it's possible. No matter what Terence decides to do, he really wants someone worthwhile to step up to challenge him next," and he stated, "Crawford has been stopping guys in the ring for a very long time, including that last stoppage against Errol Spence. So we got to find a worthy opponent, whether he moves up to fight Canelo or moves up and fights somebody to make it. At this point, you just have to find someone worthy enough. That's all. If there's no one worthy enough, you might as well retire or go fight Boots or go fight Teo, who keeps talking and saying BS. I just feel at this point in Terence's career, he's probably going to need a real big guy or Jermell Charlo. I'd still be interested in that fight, or Canelo, somebody that's flat out bigger than him." Amir Khan sees some big differences between the two fighters.
I'll fight them both. Like, what are the differences between them?
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean.
Yeah.
So really that's the difference. And they both hit hard.
Gabe Rosado isn't too interested in seeing a fight between Terence and Canelo, though, and he'd rather see Terence fight someone like Jerome Ennis instead. Gabe stated, "I would rather see Terence in Boots because I'm not really interested in Crawford-Canelo because that's likely two different paths. Canelo is in a higher weight class, and that's his legacy. Terence did his thing. I feel like if Canelo beats him at that weight, 168, then they're going to say that Crawford was too small small. David Benavidez Sr. really doesn't think that a fight between Terence and Canelo makes that much sense at all, and he stated, "This Canelo era has turned into a circus, man. True 168, the king, the face of boxing, trying to fight 154s, 147, 160s is ridiculous. He's good, my respect for Terence Crawford, but these guys are too big, man. It's a circus to me. That's not good for boxing. To make history, you gotta fight your own size, maybe a little bigger. Crawford's a great fighter, very intelligent, really good. But I think we'll see the same thing we saw in Charlo versus Canelo. It's just too much weight. There's no way." While many people believe that the jump to Canelo's weight would be a crazy notion, Terence doesn't think that it's all that outlandish in his mind.
Everybody keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, you know, because you'd have to gain like, what, 20 pounds?
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Well, you know what I mean? Catch weight.
Mm-hmm.
We can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably like 160 or something.
So you said you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158, 160, that'd be.
Bob Arum believes that Canelo will always be the clear winner in this matchup, and he stated, "I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you with Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him. But Canelo is a different proposition. I think it's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and I don't think Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence. As far as Crawford is concerned, at this point only one thing is important, and that's the money. You can't blame him, and you look around, who does Canelo have to fight? Crawford is probably the most attractive fight, commercially I'm saying. Even though he's coming up 3 weight classes, people would have a lot of interest." Oscar De La Hoya seemed to agree with Bob Arum about the size being a big factor, and he stated, "Obviously, Crawford is the craftier boxer, but Canelo has the size, he has the power, and it's like Bob Arum said, he'll run right through him. It'll be a tough fight, but stylistically, yeah, it'll be a one-sided fight for maybe, let's say, 7 rounds, and then Canelo starts attacking. He starts to take it to deep waters, and the power will eventually be too much. Will it be a great fight? Will it be a huge event? Absolutely." Kyrone Davis thinks that a win for Terence would be a tall task, but he hasn't ruled it out completely.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big. He's a little big for Crawford. And it'll be a tall task for him to win. It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard. I mean, nothing's impossible. But if I had my money on somebody winning the fight, it'll be Canelo Alvarez. Even though Terence Crawford is a great fighter, they're both great fighters. You got 2 great fighters in there. I think one guy got the advantage due to his makeup, his body type, how big of a person he is. And, I think that will be a decisive.
According to a recent post by Michael Benson, it does look as though Terence is on Canelo's radar after dealing with Jermall Charlo, and Michael stated, "Canelo Alvarez reportedly looks likely to fight Jermall Charlo and then Terence Crawford in 2024. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.